Welcome back to the Big Bounce podcast. I've just got it wrong again just before. I called it This Is Bounce again. But anyway, I'm with John Neal this time. Say hello, John.
Hello, everybody. You all right?
Yeah. He did have a Boss mic and he's just bought it for this and he couldn't get it working. So,
So it looks like
he's
I'm selling insurance or something.
But who cares, man? He's on, he's on.
Yeah,
man, how's things, John?
Do you know what, Steve? I've had a bit of a rough time. I'm going to be honest, I've literally just got over a bout of food poisoning. From about Wednesday until yesterday, mate, I couldn't firm up. And I know that's probably a bit too much information for anyone watching this, but I'm where I am now. I'm all right now, so I'm going to have a Chinese for tea tonight. But the last few days have been a write-off, mate. Yeah, I've been living on dry toast and water. So
when I was a kid, listen to this, I got something called E. coli 147. I don't know if you've heard of that or not.
Yeah, it's bad E. coli, yeah.
On poop, like I was dying.
Yeah,
and the doctor saved me life.
Yeah, that's bad. If you're a kid getting that, mate, that's bad news.
I think I was only about 8 or something.
Really?
And I got it from a Burger King. Do you reckon? I was on the way back from London visiting family, and I stopped off at a service. Got a Burger King on the way home, and then a couple of days later, I was fucking in Aussie, shitting blood and everything.
The thing is, though, as well, right, I've had that many takeaways in the past week or so, I couldn't pinpoint where it is. I've got an inkling it's the KFC round here. Yeah. I'm probably going to say it's that, but yeah, not pleasant, mate. Bog roll in the freezer and all that, but yeah, we move.
Right, so let's move on from food poisoning. Yeah. So yeah, how's dad life treating you, John?
It's the hardest job in the world, but the best job in the world, isn't it? You know, I put it off for years and years. Thinking about it now, probably should have done it years ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
It is hard. It's, you know, there's people watching this like yourself who've got multiple kids. You're absolute lunatics, but yeah, one's enough. But yeah, very hard, but very rewarding. Like he's 10 months old now, and he's hitting milestones. He started nursery last week, done his first full week in nursery, saying dada, crawling, getting ready to walk. So yeah, it's like I understand what it means now, but yeah, me and my missus never used to have a care in the world. Now we're just like, you know, this is it. This is our life now. But
it is good. It's very rewarding, like, but fucking hard work, like you said.
Massively, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we'll just dive straight in, John, because I know you're busy anyway with your kid and that. So I asked this question to everyone who's been on. How old was you when you first heard dance music, do you think?
I was 11, 1992. One of my old mates from Kirby, his brother used to go to Drome and used to bring tapes. So I think this is, to be honest, this is a cliche story for everyone from the Northwest.
Yeah.
It's a mate's brother or a brother. I'm an only child, you see, so I didn't have the brother. It was my mate's brother bringing tapes home from the Drome. Specifically, I remember it being, one was called Bank Holiday Monday Mix. It was a Dave Graham tape. And there was the New Year's Eve tape from that year as well. And I remember one of them had Die Witness Observing the Earth on. And MC Cyanide was on the tape. And my mate was playing this tape, and I'm like, taping it off him, do you know what I mean? 11 years old. And that was the very first time I'd probably like took notice of dance music. I think it's obviously on in the radio, in the car and things like that when you're a little kid. But the first time I took notice of it and thought, you know, I like this, that was then 1992.
92. Yeah. Was that hardcore then or something? Was it? Or?
It's like it was. I think they called it hardcore at the time, but it was a lot of it was breakbeat. There wasn't much 4/4 kick drum patterns. The odd tune was. I mean, it moved on to that about 93, 94. But back then, I remember from that set, there was obviously Die Witness Observing the Earth. Edge One Compended was on it. Just all like breakbeaty stuff like that, and Dave Graham's chopping it all and all that, and obviously Cyanide all over it. I mean, if you see Cyanide now, Cyanide looks like early 40s, so God knows how old he was when he was on the mic. Every time I see him, I think, you look too young to be on a tape when I was 11. But here we are,
Yeah, fucking hell. I remember all that breakbeat stuff. I was sick, that stuff.
Yeah.
So how old is you when you started like getting into your own little like decks and all that, like your own little journey? I
got my first deck when I was 17, so quite a few years after hearing the music first. Yeah. But before that, I remember I had like an Iowa hi-fi, and hopefully no one's listening from Curly Music, but there was a shop in town called Curly Music, and when we were off bunking school once, I robbed a slip mat from Curly Music, and I used to have it on top of this Iowa hi-fi with a copy of Bounce 5. It was called HVR 5. It was DJ Hicksy and Heatwave. Wizard of Oz, and it had scratch samples on it. You used to go back and forward, no crossfaded obviously because it's just on the top of a hi-fi, just learning the rhythm. So that was beforehand, and then when I got to 17 in 1999, I got my first set of decks.
What decks were they? Can you remember?
The very first ones were from the Echo, and they were the Sound Lab ones where there's two separate pitch controls, and it's plus or minus 6%. They weren't like vertical; they were two horizontal pitch controls. The worst belt drives you've ever seen, the worst platters you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter to anyone, you know. You were able to mix. Like, I'd obviously bought a few records. You were able to mix. You were able to do like what you'd heard on all them tapes.
Yeah, you
so
could go out and buy your own records and that.
Exactly, mate. I turned the room in my Mars into like the Drome and the 051. It was amazing.
That's right. So when, like, how old was you when you got like a proper decks? Was it Technics or something?
Yeah, the first time I got proper decks, I was 18, so not that much longer. But before I got them, I'd done a set on this pirate radio station in Birkenhead called Sound FM. I sent them a tape in and they said, you can do a test show on it. Right, it went out live, but it was more like a test show.
Yeah.
I'd never used Technics before. I'd only used belt drives. So anyone who's made that transition, I'm sure you can imagine now how bad that set was. Like, I thought, you know, you can just go from one set to another. Every mix was an absolute train wreck. Probably like a kid trying to handle a motocross, and mate, it was just trying to keep control of the platter. Just couldn't do it. But then obviously I was 18 when I got my first proper set of Technics and learned to mix on them and started to get somewhere then. Yeah,
man. So like back in them days, who was like your biggest inspirations in like the dance music scene?
Years ago, because I started off listening to obviously Dave Graham and the hardcore and all that.
Yeah.
It would have been the likes of DJ Psy, Stu Allen, Vibes, all the ones who played all, you know, the Cheese and obviously Psy Scratched. And then when I started getting old enough to go out to Liverpool for nights out, obviously Lee Butler. And I think any Scouser you'll ask, Lee Butler's their inspiration. He was like playing at the biggest club every weekend.
Yeah.
He wore the best clobber. His tapes were the best. Everyone wanted to be Lee Butler, you know what I mean? So he's most Scouser's biggest inspiration, certainly mine anyway.
Yeah, he's mine as well. I've said it loads of times. He's the man.
Yeah, and he's playing your tunes now on In Demand as well, isn't
he? Yeah, John, I can't believe it. It's like it's like when I was a kid, I said it the other day. Like, I could never have imagined Lee Butler playing my music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's surreal, like, to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, a lot of people like from out of town or whatever. They probably don't think it's a big deal, but for me, who I've grew up listening to on the radio, we used to tape his fucking shows every single Friday, every single Saturday, Plastic Surgery, and now one of my tunes is on his Plastic Surgery show.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
It's like full circle, isn't it?
It's full circle, it's boss. Like I can't get over it, to be honest. Yeah. Rob said he's going to probably play it on Reminisce as well, one of mine. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be a good one for me. Like,
yeah.
Even though I'm not going to be there, but are you there this year, John?
No, mate. I'm at Finchy's wedding this year.
Oh, are you?
Finchy's not on either. Finchy's getting married that weekend down in Cornwall, so a few of us are going down for that.
So he's getting married, Cornwall,
mate. He couldn't have chose a further away place to get married. Like it's like a good. I think it's about 6.5, 7 hour drive down, and it looks unbelievable where it is. Don't get me wrong, but it's a bit of a mission to get to, but it'll be a laugh. Going down with Alex as well, sharing a hotel room with Alex, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. Is he still a bit mad over all that?
No, do you know what, mate? He's calm right down. He's got a really good job. He's doing really well with himself. Smashes the gym. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, it's Alex R.
Alex R. Yeah.
He's doing really well.
He was a bit of a party animal back in the day, like.
Yeah, he loved it. Yeah.
Right. So, can you remember any like decent records from when you got like into the Scout House? Then what were your favourites? Or
about the time I started getting into Scout House, it was about the time when club heads were getting really big. So I mean, I know they had stuff in like 1996, but for me, like 1998 sticks out.
Yeah.
So tracks like that Clubheads versus Mark Van Dalen, Raise Your Hands Up in the Air, the old school mix.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of the 051. That first breakdown with just the percussion playing and a high string. Loads of songs with high strings just make me think of the 051. Hector's House Pumpin's another one. So tracks like that, the Clubheads old school mix of Raise Your Hands Up. Going back a little bit further, Overdubs, I Want Bass.
Oh, what a tune.
Just loads of stuff like that. What was big in the 051, really.
Yeah. That's same for me, to be honest. Yeah. Every time like I went record shopping, sometimes Mark Simon was there. I met him a few times, and he was like trying to get this record off me ma once. It was That Lover by Rachel McFarlane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was like, oh, please give us it. And he gave it in the end, like.
Yeah.
He wanted to play it or something, he said, but
yeah.
So like, what was I going to say then? Yeah. So like, you were doing the decks, and then how old was you when you started getting into the producing side of things?
That was probably about 2004, so 22.
Yeah.
Let me age go here, aren't I? But yeah, on FL Studio in my ma's
Oh, was
house.
it?
Well, it was called Fruity Loops back then, wasn't it?
Yeah. I didn't know you started on that.
Yeah. So because back then I worked in a record shop, so I had access to get stuff released on vinyl.
Yeah.
So a couple of the tracks I put out on vinyl, they were terrible, but they got played. So like,
Yeah.
I think the first one I ever did was Ultimate Rush, Kick This.
Yeah.
And it was what did it sample? It was basically like a Scouse House version of that Liquid Child Diving Faces, but more in the structure of the hardcore tune Kick It, which also sampled that, so it had the full pattern, if you like. So I made that literally on Fruity Loops in my ma's house, but because I worked in a record shop, I was able to get it pressed up. It sold really well.
That's right.
NT put it on a Wigan Pier volume. Pez Teller played it on Club Zone on Radio City, and it got in the Echo chart. You know, when he puts the songs of the week, but you listen to it now, it was fucking terrible, mate. There was a kick drum sampled off a Res Q track.
Yeah.
There was the bass line was just, remember Novation V Station?
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Horrible bass. The kick was in stereo. The bass was just probably all stereo. It was all wrong. It had the sample off. It had the Public Enemy sample.
Yeah.
It was terrible, but
got pressed though.
It did, yeah. It did all right, yeah. Made a bit of money, yeah.
I just missed out on the vinyl days.
Yeah. Well, back then, like the shop I was working at, they pressed things like So Sue Me, Feel the Tribute. They were part of that with Steve Cocky. They like ran that label and that. A bit further down, a few years after that, it all went a bit to shit because you had distribution companies who were doing pressing and distribution deals for absolutely anybody. Now, here's me saying that. That's rich coming from me when I've just said my first tune on vinyl was shit. But they were pressing everything, mate. And the quality control went right down. It went up like that. And then about 2005 to 2007, when it all went shit, the quality was really bad. But we'll probably come on to that in a bit anyway as we go through the years.
Yeah. Fucking hell. So like... So was you already in Frequency when you started producing, or was it just before?
No, that was a couple of years after, mate.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
When I started producing about 2004, the only time I was really playing Scouse House, I was still getting loads of hardcore gigs then, up and coming ones. But the only time I was playing like Scouse House or Bounce, as you want to call it now, I used to have a residency for this under 18s up over Cumbria and Scotland and that. And when he used to take me up there, that was the only time I was really getting to play that. The Frequency stuff obviously kicked off about 2006. So it was a couple of years beforehand when I was learning to produce that, Frequency came along a few years later.
Yeah. So I remember hearing is it Dark and Light or something?
Oh, yeah.
Light and Dark or something.
Yeah, that remix of DJ Demand. If you listen to a lot of my early stuff, a lot of it's just remixed of hardcore stuff because I was into hardcore stuff. And a lot of people were doing that at the time. Obviously, Res Q were doing a lot of old hardcore stuff, doing it a lot better than anyone else.
Not half.
I thought, there's a formula here. So like, you'll remix that like Dark and Light and things like that. It is old hardcore stuff from the 90s, but it translates well. Yeah,
because like I first heard of you on a Frequency CD because like, I didn't really go anywhere, to be honest, and I was just in Skeb, just fucking having house parties or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't go Maximes and all that, but like I did go to the Pier a few times, like.
Yeah.
But I like the forum days. That's where I got onto you because it was like Wigan Tonight and all that, weren't it?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I had no business being in Frequency.
Yeah.
That might surprise a few people, but how I ended up being in Frequency, what I'll go on about is, people say like with record shops, you miss out on like finding tunes and like speaking to people. Working in record shops is like, when people say you need to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
You work in a record shop or worked in a record shop. Every day you were pretty much in the right place at the right time. I was working in a record shop in Liverpool and Alex came in who I knew off the forums and he bought a few vinyls off me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, me and Odge have got a gig in Medicine in Warrington tonight. Do you want to come down? So I ended up going down with them and that's, as in a roundabout way, how I ended up in Frequency.
Oh, right.
So, talk about being in the right place at the right time and then it just, as you know, it took off from that.
So what volume did you end up getting on then for your first one?
I think it was, thinking back, people always take the piss out of my memory now, but it's normally got a good memory. I think it was Frequency Volume 9. And I remember that being the match that day. We had Watford at home. And then Alex picked me up after the game and then we went to Rogers and recorded it. So it was Volume 9, which is quite late to be honest, considering,
I didn't know that.
Volumes. Yeah, number 9,
Yeah. I thought it was earlier than that, to be honest with you. What was it like doing a CD with all the MCs and all that? Have you never done that before?
No.
like then.
The thing is as well, if you look at it from my point of view, like Liverpool wasn't massive on MCs.
No.
The 051, they had JFMC, they had Baby G sometimes, and sometimes Mark would get on the mic.
Yeah.
Even Wigan Pier, when I started going to Wigan Pier, they weren't MCs on. So
Mm.
then to see like a group of lads all in a room
Yeah.
passing the mic around, not only that, but the music was a bit faster than I was used to.
Yeah.
Because like we played Scouse House about 140, 142.
Yeah.
These mad bastards are playing at about 155, and there's just
Yeah.
MCs going all over it. So it was a bit of an eye opener, but something I got on board with quite quick. Because you know you could see how good they were all on. Like the likes of Nico, for example.
Yeah.
First time I seen him, I was like, "Fuck me,
This is
good
mad,
him."
isn't it?
Yeah, he's him, and obviously Finchie's always at his. Finchie's always been there and thereabouts. So yeah, seeing them all, it was a bit mad at first being where I'm from, but now took to it quite quick.
Well, that's what I was like when I first come across Frequency. I was like, what the fucking hell's this?
Yeah.
Because I've never heard it. Like, I didn't follow Maxime's, like I've just said. Like, I only went to the pier now and again.
Yeah.
I just listened to the 051, Lee Butler on the radio or whatever. And this was even before I was, like, getting into the pleasure rooms and all that. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, yeah, this is all right, this, actually.
Yeah.
And I started downloading all the Frequency albums from the forums and that. And I was proper invested in it. I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Because like, I think that's when Bounce started. Me when all
it went
that
from
was going on.
to Bounce, yeah.
Because it was totally different. Like loads of Spanish gear was getting played, weren't it?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, this is just mad." It was completely different to Scout House, weren't it?
Yeah. Do you know the maddest thing for me as well? Like the transition from it all, from like the 051 and all that, the dress codes, mate. I remember the first time I went Wigan Pier, because back in the day you were either Wigan Pier or Maxime's, and I didn't go Maxime's until I first got booked there in March 2007.
Yeah.
So I had never been Maxime's, but I'd been to the pier obviously, and that was an eye opener for me because I was used to having to like put my Sunday best on to go to the 051. You ain't getting in unless you had a nice shirt on and trousers and shoes. And then I went to Wigan Pier. I'm like, you know what's going on here? There's like lads in trackies with no t-shirt on under the trackies, big massive belcher chains, fucking Nike tick shaved into the back of their heads. Nah, they didn't really. I'm not only messing on that, but so that was an eye opener for me. But I got on board with that quite quick. So I thought, fucking hell, you can go out in a Lacoste trackie here, because I was used to the hardcore raves, but to see like Scouse House getting played in the club where people were just wearing trackies, that was an eye opener.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, the pier was fucking next level. I'm gutted for anyone that never went at the peak time. Like the first time I went, I think it was about 2003. I think.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 2003, 2004, something like that. And it was at its peak then, man. To be honest,
yeah. Did you ever go to Crick?
No. Oh, I got booked for the Crick right at the very end before it closed down.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was called the Crick though. I think it was called something else.
BPM.
Yeah. And I walked in there. They had some shitty fucking belt drive deck and a fucking Axis 9.
Yeah.
I walked in. I went, listen, I can't play here, mate. I'm off.
Yeah. The thing with that place though, right? If you think about it, back in the day, like if you look at the Sanctuary recordings that people still talk about to this day, I've seen pictures. Like back then, like the Sanctuary nights and all that, and even like some other ones. They were really busy nights. The only time I ever experienced the Crick before getting booked there was if you got knocked back from the Wigan Pier. And I remember getting knocked back, I think it was Easter 2003 or 2004. Dave's like saying we're full, you can't get in. So it was like, someone's like, we'll go to the Crick. Walking around and going round there, and it was like, yeah, this is quite different. Wasn't what I expected at all. It wasn't very busy, but
it was like a what do you call it? Like a function room or something, man. It looked like
it was a bit of a mad gaff. It looked like a parochial club on a council estate. And the times I played there, I have to be honest, I never played there when it was busy. But like I say, I wouldn't slag the place off because I've seen pictures from when Sanctuary had it when they originally set up. And obviously the recordings with the likes of, obviously Wizard and EJ and all that.
People still famous.
They still go on about them all day, don't they?
Yeah. That like Sanctuary was known fucking all up and down the country, weren't it?
Yeah.
Even from the Crick.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't really matter what the place looked like, I suppose. Back in them days,
always a mad experience for me.
Yeah, but that was MC thingy as well, weren't it? Like the Maximes, they had loads of MCs on there, didn't they? Yeah. I never actually went as a raver or not on there, but
I think it would have been a bit Maximes to me. Seeing it from like a DJ's point of view, always seemed a bit more raw than Wigan Pier. Don't get me wrong, I've seen people fight in Wigan Pier, but Maxime's always had that next level of edginess.
I heard about Maxime's being quite heavy, yeah.
Yeah, like people from different areas, like Salford and all that, like
Yeah, the Manx
scrapping with
took
other
over it.
areas. Yeah. So I don't reckon it'd be a nice place for the Scousers to go to.
No. Well, I did never go. Like I said, I didn't really want to. I didn't even really know it. Maxime's existed really till like I went on the forum. It was all Wigan Pier or whatever. You know what I mean?
But it's mad though. We think back, like though that era.
Yeah.
Two clubs in the same, and it's not even a city; it's a town, innit? I think it's a town, it's not a city. Two clubs in a town, just they're not like 5 minutes by car from each other. So busy every weekend. Like we had it good, didn't we? Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, fucking hell. Them, like I said, like bounce was like created in them days in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because it, like you said, it moved on, didn't it, to something what it is now.
Yeah.
So, what year do you reckon that was when it sort of like handed over?
I noticed the change probably about 2004.
Yeah.
Like 2003, you still had like, if I listen back to my mixes from then, like there's the odd like Head Hornies tune because then picture discs were getting brought in.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was still Scouse House, like Res Q remixes and things like that. And obviously, Dizzy DJs, they were knocking bits out them. Probably about 2004, a lot more stuff started having a donk to it. A couple more bits were getting donked up. Alex K stuff was just massive.
Yeah.
And then you got your likes of Bad Behaviour starting to appear, Fitty and Rossi B about 2005, 2006. So probably 2004, 2005 was when it started to transition.
I agree.
To me.
I'd agree with that as well.
Yeah.
So like, when was your first frequency gig then, like in a club with all them lot?
It would have been Bank Holiday Sunday, August 2006. I did the flyers for the first few events because I was involved. I just hadn't played one. The very first event was June, and I had a gig down south. I was playing in Wales for What's Here and Hardcore Night, playing bounce to warm the night up.
Yeah.
So they did the first frequency. I did the flyer. The flyer says Hodge and Alex R presents frequency, and then just the names on the back was like obviously Hodge and Alex, Drakey. Your MCs was Finchy, Azzy, Addy Z, and I think Walshy, and all they literally did is put that flyer on a forum, Wigan Tonight, a couple of forums, Wigan Tonight, Live for the Weekend, if that was going in, I think it was. They were the two competing ones. And from putting a flyer on a forum, it was rammed. I mean, it was only like 2-3 quid to get in as well. And it wasn't the biggest of venues, but you couldn't move. I've still got pictures from that very first one. I remember Alex telling me about one of the speakers falling on someone and someone holding the speaker up for ages. It was just a mad time, but that's all you had to do, put a flyer on a forum.
Yeah. Well, like going back to the forums, that was like social media, weren't it, back in them days?
It was, mate.
Like there weren't like nothing else to like go on really to talk about music and everyone on there was there for one reason. It was music, weren't it?
Exactly.
Music talk.
Music and to wind people up. There was
I got tethered on there, mate. I used to get fucking because I was new to all this forum and all that, and I was just this little scally kid from Skeb. I was like, whatever and all that, and I got fucking piss took out of me big time.
What was your favourite forum?
Wigan Tonight was the first one I think I joined, and Scouse MP3s was alright.
Yeah.
Because you got all your music from that, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, mate, some of the bits that got leaked on that.
I don't know.
How were you getting them?
I don't know, it's mad.
Yeah.
It is mad how they could get hold of them. Some of them are masters as well. I don't even know how the fuck they got them.
I weren't complaining, mate. Like,
I
went. I'd go up there and I'd be playing stuff and they'd be like, have you got this?
Yeah.
Scouse MP3s, mate. Nikos. Nick Brown and Nikos. They used to get some good bits. So
Live for the Weekend were good as well. Like, I don't know. Wigan Tonight probably because it was the first one I ever fucking got onto. Like, and it was just like an eye opener because everyone was there just to talk about music and that.
Yeah.
And like there was loads of like if nobody knows what it is, it's basically like a thread post like Reddit, weren't it?
Yeah, we'll have to explain this because there'll be people who are a lot younger than us watching this.
Yeah, what it was, it's like if you know what Reddit is, it was like that, weren't it? So somebody would make a topic of discussion, and everyone would just bombard that with loads of replies, and then like if someone spoke out of line or tried to be cocky like me, everyone would just fucking take the piss out of you, like they'd fucking get you like.
Yeah, it was ruthless then.
Yeah. And there was no holds barred the way like today where you get fucking bans or nothing, was it?
You could literally say what you want.
You could say anything.
They had moderators and admins, but half the time the moderators and admins were the worst ones.
Yeah, I'm
sure like on some of them forums we all used to be on, I'm sure like admins and moderators could read everyone's private messages and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Fucking madness what you could do.
Yeah. But yeah, so like John said there, they post a flyer, and because there was that many fucking people, music like-minded, you know what I mean? They'd all go, yeah. So it was a good place to advertise, innit?
Mm.
Yeah, man. So I was going. So I joined that, I think, I reckon about 2006, I think, maybe. I think, if I remember, about 2006, because like I was late to all that, like MCing gear and all that.
Yeah,
You were already DJing for Frequency then as well, weren't you?
yeah.
So that's where I heard you. And that's where I heard Rob Kane as well, on Scouse MP3s or something, doing his mixes, because I weren't really clued up on him either.
Yeah, I'd
It was
known
only,
about him for years before that.
yeah,
Like there was forums for Scousers. Tonight in Liverpool was one of
yeah, Liverpool, oh, yeah,
and so he had his own like or they used to give all the DJs their own like forum on there, so we used to
yeah,
post his mixes and all that in
yeah,
there. And obviously with me like being a scratch DJ, you know, you listen out to others how they're doing it and all that, and I was always like,
yeah,
he's decent, him like.
yeah. And I remember then, and I was like, fuck me, he's unbelievable. Because I was DJing on vinyl back then as well.
Yeah,
And like, he was just putting mixes out, scratching everything. I was like, fucking hell, he's next level.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So just moving straight forward then, like, what do you reckon your like top? Yeah, I'll go top 5 events. Can you off the top of your head? Because you fucking played everywhere.
That I've ever played.
Yeah, ever played.
Mate, that's an hard question, that, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, just
if I can do it in no order, I could
no order.
probably give you 5 off the top of my head that I've just been
man.
like, when I've come off, I've just been like, fucking hell, have I just done that?
Yeah.
So again, in no order. So any promoters who might be listening to this, I'm not putting your event load and someone else's. Got to be diplomatic and that.
Yeah.
What's it called? Clubland, the show at the King George. Is it not King George's Hall? The Albert Hall in Manchester. Probably about 6 months before COVID. They put me and Cheese on for the first 2 hours, like to warm it up, and you didn't need to warm it up. Like the doors opened, the dance floor was chocker, the balcony was decent. So like we literally just played a full-on bouncer for 2 hours because it's only Manchester. I could get an Uber, so I was on the ale. And I honestly, mate, it was I had a proper good bevy.
Enjoyed that.
Loads of people there who were new, so yeah, that was unbelievable. Come off, and I was like, "Fucking hell's that just happened?" I honestly think someone needs to put another night on in that venue.
Was there seats in that?
So the balcony's got like benches, if you like steps down, so you can sit. Or you can
I remember
stand,
seeing it. Yeah.
They do like bongos bingo there, so people in the balconies they can sit. Or when you put seats in for that, but the downstairs bit is standing.
Yeah.
I'd probably say the very first Frequency at Club DNA, which would have been February 2007, just because of how busy it was.
Yeah.
Farrell was like the events manager for DNA at the time, so we got us a night on there.
Yeah.
And again, just talking about the forums and the effect that they had. When we got to Blackpool, we were staying in a hotel called the Residence, and we walked in. And literally, it was just like a Wigan Tonight who's who. Everybody off the forums was there, already on it, ready to go for the night. The club was rammed. We got paid about 150 quid each. We got our kicks absolutely pulled down, given the fact that there was like 700 odd people in the club.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was unbelievable, mate. It was like, it's one of them ones where you think like, yeah, we're doing something right here with this Frequency. Like for that many people to travel, we're doing something right.
It was massive then as well, Frequency, when it started kicking off for you.
Yeah, probably like late 2006, early 2007, when it just like blew up mad. I'd probably say as well the first Restricted Forest I did.
Yeah.
That was July 2021. Again, just after lockdowns and COVID. It was like the week after the clubs had just opened, and it was unbelievable.
You've just had one as well, haven't you?
They moved it to Liverpool.
Was it?
Near Formby.
Yeah.
It's like a forest there. Obviously, once you leave Crosby towards Southport, it's all trees, isn't it? So I think they've done it there. But the one I did was in Witton Park Forest in Blackburn. And I get just the crowd, mate. I think the whole event holds about 6,000 people. I don't know what was on that main stage, but literally just as far as you can see, there's just heads, and all you could see now and again was the odd bit of vape smoke coming up. I always remember that because I'll be honest, with a crowd that big, even though I've been doing it so long, I get quite nervous. Not because I want to fuck up or not because I know I'm not. Just like, am I going to play the right track? It's more about if this track I'm going to play is go down, not like what I'm doing. I just remember, like, I kept my head down quite a bit, regrettably. But like, I just remember looking up and I'd see vape smoke and obviously people going off their heads. It was just, that was definitely up there. So I've got 2 left, haven't I?
Yeah.
The Bumping Festival 2010 in Spain.
Was that abroad? Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that. Yeah.
That was in Decibelia in in Irun, it's called, in northern Spain. The mad thing was it was supposed to be in Scamner the night before. That was the one me and Rob got stranded in Spain. But we flew over on the Friday to play Scamner that night. And when we landed in Barcelona to catch a connecting flight to Bilbao, all the air traffic control people went on strike. Literally, the airport just goes mad. Everyone's going off their head. We don't speak a word of English. Word of Spanish. No one speaks a word of English. We're pulling people like, what's going on? What's going on? And people are like, strike. Found out all the air traffic control, they call it a wildcat strike. They just went off. So we had to sleep in the airport while they sent someone over from Bilbao in a car to pick us up from Barcelona, 6 hours each way. Drive us back to Bilbao, and then we played in Decibelier on the Saturday night. It was fucking unbelievable. To be fair, I'm glad it was on the Saturday because it's a bigger club and it was more well attended. And then on the Sunday morning, we had to drive into France to get a flight home to London to then get a train home back up to the northwest. Now I was booked to go to New York on the Monday morning. I literally got in the house at 11 o'clock Sunday night. I hadn't even packed, and I had to leave the house at 3 o'clock Sunday morning to go to New York with my bird. My bird sat at home crying her eyes out, thinking, I'm not going to make it home and the holiday's getting cancelled. But
at least you got there, though.
Honestly, mate, it was like trains, planes and automobiles, but that was a belter. And then I suppose the other one would be the very first Make Some Noise. The 051, just because it was the 051, because at that point I had never played there, and it wasn't as rammed as you'd like it to be as the 051 nights were, but I think we had about 1,500, 1,600 in, which is still good. We had the club heads on, flew them over, met Addy from the club heads, possibly the nicest guest DJ I've ever hosted, just such a top fella. And getting to play that main room in the 051, just unbelievable.
Well, that's it. It's like you've grew up listening to the 051 and like you finally got to play there, isn't it? So it's just one of them, innit? I'd love to play there, mate.
Yeah.
Just for like memorabilia, innit? I'd do it for fuck all as well.
Are you not doing Paulo H's Halloween night?
No, I'm doing something else. What isn't come out yet?
Right.
I've finally been booked.
If you ain't clashing, Paul, get him on. But obviously there's a clash, isn't he? So...
No, Paul said he's going to get me on a few events, but I think he just wanted like his reliable people for this one, like, because I haven't been reliable in the past, I suppose. But
well, I think I'm not going to let it out the bag, but I think I know what you'll be on if it's the same weekend. I've got a feeling.
I think everyone will know what it is. There's only one fucking person that books me.
Why do you think that is, Steve?
Fuck, I've been a cunt in the past, I suppose. I don't know, but I am a bit of a letdown now as well. I've got like that bad anxiety and all that. Believe it or not.
About gigs.
About everything in life, mate. So I got diagnosed with autism, didn't I?
Did you?
Yeah, and ADHD. I'm fully diagnosed by the doctors and that. So I suppose
that'll probably play havoc with it if you've got to turn up to a club. I'll be honest, I don't know. I do it sometimes, like turning up, because no one goes with me anymore. Back in the day, I didn't drive, but people who drive me would have a car full of people who were all into the music. Now, because everyone's grown up with kids, no one wants to go to gigs anymore. So I've got to turn up to gigs all over the gaff on my own. And you know what I really hate, and no offense to any doorman, but you know when you turn up to a club and you've got to tell them you're there to DJ, it's the most awkward thing, because you're up and down like, who the fuck are you? Like, you look at your little UDG page and you're like, I hate it, you know. I hate that. But once I'm past that, once I'm through, and then I always find as well, especially in Pure, you might agree with this, when you walk into the DJ box in Pure, it's like a fucking computer game. Like, you've got to dodge people doing that rowing the boat dance. And you're like going left, you've got to go right, you've got to go left. Just like, honestly, mate, it's like...
You've got to go right through the middle of the dance floor, haven't you, to get to the back room, and then you've got to go up these stairs and that.
Yeah. But that gives me anxiety sometimes. Like, getting nervous for the gig, telling the doorman I'm there to DJ. Half the time I say I'm working, and they look at me like, well, you don't like look like you're spraying aftershaves in the bog. What do you mean you're working? All right, I'm here to DJ, do you know what I mean? Show your bag. I just find it dead cringy, and then obviously getting past everyone without getting your trainees stamped on and all that. But I do get a bit of that myself.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I just like flappy. You know, I'm back out, so I'm like, oh, no, I can't be arsed with it. But then other times I'm like well in for it, do you know what I mean? I'm well up for it.
Yeah. You need to be doing more of it, mate. You know, if you see videos from all these gigs for the weekend, man included, your tracks are getting played. Should be you playing them. Should be you up there getting the videos, you know what I mean? Getting the content.
And I was, like I've just said, I suppose a lot of it is my own doing, like, because I haven't been reliable. But talking about my music, like, let's move on a bit then. What do you reckon of like today's bounce music then? in comparison to like older.
I think everyone always says you can't beat the classics.
Yeah.
But there has been some really good music out the past.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't know how far I'd go back. Probably, for me, it all kicked off really good again. Probably when Wiggy started going in with Kenny.
Yeah.
To get him to engineer for him.
Yeah.
I think the first track he sent me from their like new collaborations was the Ultranati one they did, the remix of Ultranati.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they done a few more, Salvation and stuff like that. Apologies if they're in the wrong order. Don't Give Up on Love, things like that. That kick-started it for me.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of good music out. I think there's a lot of stuff that's being done just for the sake of it, which maybe doesn't hit the spot. And that's rich coming from me, who can't even finish a tune these days. But
you made one of the biggest tunes ever, in my opinion.
I just wish I had more consistency, Steve.
I know,
like if I could go in and do that every time, I know that's not possible. But even just a bang average tune, I can't even. Maybe I'm being too critical. But I'll say go in. I haven't got a studio anymore. I'll jump on my MacBook and I'll start working on a tune and I'll be like, that's shit. Let's have a look what's going on Facebook.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's terrible. You need to be more consistent.
So with that being said, then, like, without mentioning me, because I don't want to be fishing for like comments, who do you reckon is your top 5 producers right now? Just pretend I don't even make music anyway. Just forget about me.
Do you know the thing with these questions, right? I'm in a really fortunate position that a lot of DJs and producers send me their tracks.
Yeah.
So to narrow it down to 5 is difficult without putting someone's nose out of joint. So if I was to say 5, it's not in any order. And
yeah, not in any order.
I'd probably miss out. But if I had to say, for me, Kenny Hayes is you can't not mention him. He is he's a musician, a producer, he's a professional. To knock how many tunes out how he does and it's still have inspiration. It's unbelievable, mate. He's probably made more tunes in a month. No, in a week, sorry, than I've made in the last 5 years.
Oh, I agree. He's fucking up there, definitely like the best.
I'll name you, but I'll not include you in the 5. And the reason I'm going to name you, and I say this all the time when you send me stuff, is your tracks are cleaner than clean. Like I don't know what you do to them. Like I watch these tutorials where you're cutting the EQ here.
Yeah.
And I spend too much time doing that, and that probably takes away from the creative process. You probably don't even do that and get these absolutely glorious, clean results. Like the space in your tracks, the low end's so much like there compared to the high end. It's just it's so balanced. So I'd say you for that reason, obviously in your ideas as well.
I appreciate that job.
If I'm naming another 4, I'd probably say Phil Critchley. Because I know he was getting a lot of stuff engineered or getting guided, collaborating with someone, and he took a lot from that. To like,
he did. He learned a lot.
You listen to the stuff that he does solo.
Yeah,
it could be with that person who is a really unbelievable producer who he was collaborating with. So he's literally learned so much.
He did. He learned a lot. What was he called again?
Energy Syndicate, Glenn.
Yeah, that's it. And his music's unbelievable.
Is just its levels is like mastering and the loudness.
It's unreal.
Yeah, like if you put A and B as tracks with most of the people's, but he is from the hard dance scene, isn't he? So they obviously they've got the likes of technical and all that. They probably all learn off each other, and obviously Phil's
unreal as well.
Yeah. Phil's took a bit of that know-how into his own tracks, but Phil's great.
Yeah,
I can feel the pressure now because I've only got 3 more.
No, Phil's definitely up there for me as well. I always mention Phil.
Yeah. And we're talking about modern producers, yeah?
Yeah.
Wayne,
you got to mention Wayne.
Wayne is just unbelievable. How he's not been picked up by a major label yet with the stuff he can make is just, I don't know. Like that remix he did, a Whisper. I thought that would have been picked up by Trick as an alternative to the original because if you listen to them side by side, it's like he's never heard the original to make that remix. They could be completely different tunes that just use that vocal.
Yeah,
unbelievable. I love that song.
He's come on leaps and bounds for his like overall production as well. Like he was already good, but if you listen to his older gear, they were like dark and like not as clean. But they're dead clean now.
I was going to say
really
his older stuff, right? His ideas have always been unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, his ideas have always been.
Your ideas are like just unbelievable. If he was 20 years ago, he'd be a rich man. Do you know what I mean? But his older tunes, they always sound like they were mastered on a Bluetooth speaker in a business. You know what I mean? They lacked in that.
Yeah,
now the clarity's there as well. So,
they're proper up there now. Yeah,
I've got 2 people left now. I'm going to name 2 more people, but I'm going to do honourable mentions because it's
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Give some honourable mentions as well.
yeah, okay. Another producer is Daz Inman.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Because I just think, again, his musical ideas, he plays guitar and that, and you can hear it in his productions. The little side project he did doing the 80s style stuff, like the retro stuff.
Yeah.
Sit and listen to that for days, mate.
Synthwave or something
Exactly.
like
It
that.
reminds me of like Vice City, like that radio station Flash FM. It was like listening to Flash FM.
He's a really talented producer.
He's a talented lad, and I know he engineers for people and that. So like if anyone's after an engineer and you want that,
get on Poom Styles.
euphoric sound, get on him.
Yeah.
I've got one person left, haven't I?
Yeah, no pressure.
I'm gonna say Fitzy and Rossi B.
Yeah, you've got to add them, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to add them.
Consistency,
yeah,
longevity. They've been knocking bits out since 2006, and a lot of it does still sound the same, but they have added some new elements to it.
Yeah.
But it's because it works. It really does work.
Their style is like iconic bounce music. Do you know what I mean? It's like they were bounce like back in the day, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they've still carried that sort of same sound a little bit, but now it's just like a next level sound. What they've got, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm going to do my honourable mentions now. So DVB,
yeah.
Again, they send me bits, and I just listen to it, and I'm like, fucking hell, that's so.
Ben
good.
actually records his guitar on his
really.
Tracks. Yeah. I messaged him the other day because he sent me his new one, and I heard the piano, the guitar and the breakdown. I was like, he's done that. So I messaged him and said, "Did you do that guitar?" And he went, "Yeah."
Yeah. That's talent I couldn't even dream of. I know Darren Stars had someone years ago playing the guitar on is Free Your Mind track. I think it was. I don't think it was him though. I think it was like someone he knew. But to do that on your own track,
it's like Calvin Harris shit.
Exactly, it is Calvin Harris and bounce. So honourable mention to him, Alex Lister.
Alex Bounce. Yeah.
A tune machine.
His music is boss.
Tune machine just puts videos up like. You know what I mean? Just knocking stuff out. Luke Hudson.
Kenzie's got him fucking working hard anyway.
Yeah, this is it. Luke Hudson, Connor. There's loads of people who can knock tunes out like that who probably don't because they probably can't be asked anymore. But
yeah, Luke said he doesn't even really finish a track anymore. I don't know why.
Wasted talent.
And always really good.
I was going to name a few people who have used Kenny.
Yeah,
not because they've sat there and made the tune, but because without them going in to use Kenny, we wouldn't have the tracks that have come off the back of it. So your RGs, Paul Argent, now making his own tracks, now making about 10 tracks a day.
Yeah,
fair play.
He is, yeah.
You know, without him going in with Kenny, you don't have Crush.
Yeah,
Matt C.
Massive.
You don't have what's the latest one? Last Night.
Yeah.
You don't have Bruises, a personal favourite of mine. All the Rita Ora ones he got remixed back then.
He's been signed as well to multiple big labels.
Exactly. Bounce Projects, I know he makes his own tracks. I'm not saying about he goes in with Kenny. Yeah. What he's done is absolutely amazing as well. So I know I'm being dead here, but there's so many people knocking good stuff out.
That's what I mean. So like going back to like 2009, I'd say that's when it started proper fucking dying off. 2009, 2010. There was hardly anyone making music, and now there's so many producers now making music. Like I reckon there's over about 40, you know, all together, all in.
Yeah, there is. I sit there, I get tagged every Monday, you know, when the tunes land on Bounce 7 and the acceleration. And I don't mind getting tagged in people's tunes.
Yeah.
And I just look and I think, fucking hell, there's a lot of people making music here, and I'm not. And it you know, it stresses me out a little bit because I'm like,
you've got a kid as well now, John.
Am I ever going to get back on the saddle and start knocking bits out to this level with this consistency? But no, fair play, mate. I tip me out to everyone who's finding the time and keeping it all going.
Yeah, and there's 3 or 4 selling websites as well now that there weren't before.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's just so many different styles as well nowadays.
Yeah,
like it's come a long way. Do you think it'll ever go mainstream?
I don't, to be honest.
No, I don't. For some reason,
I think the time is probably now or just been. And why I think that is, you've got these DJs who are playing big festivals, playing Ibiza, getting paid multiples of thousands of pounds to play sets, and slipping the odd old Scouse House / bounce track in. I think, come on, you're getting paid that much money, surely you can think outside the box a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
But I think if it was going to go that mainstream, it possibly might have done already with some of the stuff that's come out, because there is producers who've made stuff that could potentially cross over, but it's not being picked up by those people. Like Wayne's Whisper, for example, that should have been picked up and should have been a lot bigger. I mean, it might still, but that should have been a lot bigger than it is. But I don't know how much longer these high BPMs are going to be sustained by the big DJs who are playing it. Will they get bored? Will the reactions drop and he starts playing slower again? Will he start putting breaks in the tracks, things like that? So I suppose it depends on how much longer it carries on with the top tier of dance music playing higher BPMs to see whether it can break through or not.
Yeah, because at the minute they are playing like 145, aren't they? Like, and whatever. And there has been a couple of 145s from our scene that's being picked up, but none of the big DJs are playing it. Even though the streams are getting fucking like millions and millions of streams.
Yeah.
Like, you never see like anyone like Hannah Langan on one playing them or nothing, do you?
No, I think she's a little bit more too close to what they call techno now, isn't she? Don't get me wrong, she plays like she'll play like old Dutch stuff as well, but I think they're so very similar now. There's the old type Uberjol type kick drums and like those saw bass lines really between the both. So they've got a lot in common. It's not like a pure unadulterated donk yet that she's playing. So I think there's still time, but I don't know. I have my doubts. Obviously what Blackout Crew have done is unbelievable. But I don't see how that takes what everyone else is doing as big as that. That's huge.
Well, they're more like a band now, aren't they? Blackout Crew, because like they've got MCs on a track. It's not like they're like releasing a full donk track with no MCs on it, is it? Like they're like a band, I'd call them.
Yeah.
So I think it'd have to take someone like Hannah Lang or Patrick Soppin to actually play a new bounce track.
Yeah.
For it to start going a bit mainstream, and I just can't see that happening.
No, you get I think like you've seen the odd one from like Beat Here that I don't know who the DJs were, but they were playing like a fairly new one. But other than that, I think the closest to an actual full-on bounce track I've seen someone play, if we're not counting the older Dutch stuff, Woodsy sent me a video of Ben Helmsley playing the Bad Behaviour remix of More and More.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, wow,
okay, that's random.
But exactly, do you know? And it wasn't in like a massive festival; it was more in a nightclub environment. But I'm sure it was only last year. But I think that's the closest I've seen.
I think I've heard someone play a Fitzy and Rossi B track as well. You know, yeah. I'm sure it was someone like Patrick or someone along them lines. And what track was it? I think it was Blow Your Mind. What they made.
Yeah,
quite recently. It was about 2 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I've seen a video of one of them big ones play that. So, and that had a donk in it, I think.
Did it? Have you sent Have you sent anything in yourself? You've done some bits with Finchy, which you've like been very close to that.
I don't think a couple of DJs liked it. I think Hannah Lang downloaded it. I don't know whether she plays it or not. David Rust, I think, downloaded it.
Yeah. This is the thing, though. You've got to literally go through their Instagrams, then watching every story just in case. Or if you go on an Instagram profile, watch the tagged videos just in case. Hang on, that's my track. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe Finchy can tell everyone if anyone's played it or not. But I couldn't tell you. I haven't got a clue, to be honest. Yeah. So we'll move on, and then I've got like a few questions that I ask everyone, and then a little quiz. But before that, I've asked everyone this: name 5 of your favourite ever tracks.
Oh, mate, these are this is
now. This could be any genre, like, and it doesn't have to necessarily be an order either. You can just pick 5.
So it doesn't have to be donk or bounce. It can be
it can be anything.
Okay. Fucking hell, this is hard, Steve.
Go on, that's all right.
The first one's hard because I don't know how to pronounce the artist name.
Right.
It's either Dukes or I'll spell it for you. Deaux. So I think it's Dukes.
Oh, that's Joe, isn't it? Is that French?
It's French. It's definitely French, and it's called Sun Rising Up. Right. It's a house track. And there's a video from someone playing it.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
And the bird singing it live, Rebecca Brown, she's called.
Yeah.
And honest to God, it's like filmed on a spud because it's from 2006.
Yeah.
It's pixeled, but just the sound and when the song drops, when the bass is there, it's like a proper like groovy house track.
I know that track.
Like the ears even off the YouTube video, the ears stand up, and even like to this day, now and again, I've got a playlist. I'll put that on in the car and have a listen to that. Going back to my hardcore roots, I'd say the Scotchman, Happy Vibes.
Yeah,
it's like a proper hard bouncy techno track, just because it's unbelievable to mix. Like it's got a really good stab pattern. It's Scott Brown. came out on a Dutch label. I'm gonna test my knowledge here. I think it was Baby Boom or was it Dwarf? I'm sure they're the same. They both had cartoon logos. It's either Dwarf or Baby Boom. Apologies if I got that wrong, but the Scotsman, Happy Vibes. If I'm gonna go for the Scouse House one now.
Yeah.
Bit of a random one here, but Maury Klein, Cap to the Bass, the Clubheads mix.
Oh yeah.
That is just when that says "Give me something to dance to," and then that kick and donk come in, the cleanest kick and donk. Loads of people have sampled that donk for their own tracks.
Oh yeah.
I know 100% they have.
Yeah.
When that comes in a club, like I've started with it a few times, and back to the old pier, just from "Give me something to dance to."
Yeah.
Blows up every time.
That was a frequency track of yours you played with.
Yeah, I used to play it all the time, mate. It's not the greatest to mix out of. It goes on all mad bars, but to start it from there, and if you can mix it in fairly quickly. Yeah, that's
is that the one that goes? Did it? Yeah, that's a riff. That
and then it's like that.
Yeah, it's a fucking heavy one.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I'm on 3 now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is harder than I thought.
Any old school tracks from like the 90s or anything to like?
Yeah. I'd probably say Die Witness, Observing the Earth. Like the one Dave Graham used to play from 1992. There was like a hard house mix of it years ago, but this one is like, it's like, it has got a 4/4 pattern, contrary to what I said earlier on about 92 stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like the biggest kick drum, but it's got like a bit of a breakbeat behind it. And it's got like a Juno Hoover sound.
Oh,
the melody, it goes, you'd know it if you heard it. It's got this like sample of like a radio station. It's unbelievable. It's a proper like old rave tune.
Yeah, man.
And then if I've got one last track, this is hard. I'd probably say Lange, Follow Me.
Yeah, that's
just because like I was 18 when it come out, or was it 17? Was it 99? If it was 99, I was 17. And just around that time, like everywhere was playing trance. It was like the commercial music.
Yeah,
it was in like bars, bars like the Yeaties were playing trance. You know what I mean? You find it hard to believe, but that was the commercial music, and that was just unbelievable. Kevin and Perry, obviously, as well.
Yeah, trance was fucking so big at one point, weren't it? Do you know what I mean? It's coming back around now, I think, because like you've got like Ben Elmsley. He's brought trance right back into it. I think
Billy Gillies.
Billy
Gillies is just on he's on more gigs than The Date. He's on everything, but rightly so, mate. He's fucking smashes it, only a second.
And who's that other fella? Have you heard of that DJ Lovestruck?
Only through his track going viral on TikTok.
Mate,
that is an unbelievable track. That one, I can't remember the name of it now.
What a Girl to Do or something like that.
It's like literally, it's every now and again, every other video on TikTok has got that on. It's like, it is such a lovely track. It could be 24 years old. It's that good.
Just been signed to Spinning Records.
That's it.
Yeah,
he's got the sample cleared.
He is fucking smashing it.
Yeah. Do you know the first time I heard that song? No, it was on that. You know that Fish 56 Octagon.
Oh yeah.
It was on.
It
was on one of his videos, not one of the ones where he stood there in a fucking dressing gown eating cereal, going
dry wheat mix.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It wasn't on one of them ones. Off the back of that, he's got loads of gigs and fair play. I can't watch his videos anymore.
I can't.
There's something about him when he's like doing all that to the camera. But one of his videos from one of his gigs, he's playing that and he's like got the camera up and he's like doing that weird smile to the camera. But I'm like, that is a track that. And then all of a sudden, every single TikTok's got it on. So fair play. The amount of people who are blowing up because of TikTok.
It's insane.
A&Rs are literally sitting on TikTok looking for stuff to sign. So anyone who's trying to get stuff signed and finishing stuff, do a 15-second video and put it up, and hopefully some American uses it dancing, and then away you go.
And a good way, I suppose, is just try and give it to as many people as you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you only need that one clip being played in a club from someone, and everyone going nuts for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. Do you know what I mean? So that's a good tip for everyone.
It's like that Marlon Hofstadt, the Daddy Chance, that it's that time. There was a time when every other TikTok video was that. And I'd heard the track a million times. I'd played it loads. But I found myself watching every single video just to hear the crowd singing that song.
That's it.
Like the Boiler Room in Melbourne, and his face when they do it, you can tell he's just he's absolutely buzzing off it. It's blown up. That is some feeling. That like when someone sings your song back to you like that.
Oh mate,
it's like fucking hell. It's unbelievable.
In front of thousands of, I get made up just being impure, me, and they're all buzzing off it. Sort of like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, what do you reckon your like biggest crowds is you've played at? Talking about it, because you've played at a lot of big gigs now, haven't you?
Yeah, probably. It's quite possibly Reminisce. The
Reminisce.
bounce back tent, the last couple of
Yeah.
years, it's just the
Yeah.
very first one. It was about 1,400 capacity. I don't know what the capacity is now, but you're talking multiple
fucking
thousands. It's huge,
massive.
and
Yeah.
they put us on quite early, me and Paul H. But both times, as soon as the tent opens, it's rammed. There's
Yeah.
a good few thousand in there, so probably that. A lot of the Clubland ones, you know, you get on them, the crowds are massive. Clubland at the Pleasure Beach Arena in 2019, they had Ben Nicky headlining. I was on the set before the PA. It's just huge, mate. This like arena where they have like Disney on Ice and all that in it, and there's like this music on. So yeah,
it's good that Clubland are incorporating new artists as well into their like events now, innit? Because it was mainly like old school events, weren't it? That really.
Yeah.
So it's at least they're trying to get new artists on there now, aren't they?
That's I have to give a shout out to our fellow Evertonian Terry that he's flying the flag for us all, mate. He obviously puts a word in and gets bounce on. Obviously, you got the likes of Finch who's on every one because he's the best host from our
number
scene,
one MC, I think.
Without a doubt,
yeah, man. Right, we'll go into my questions then, John, because I know you're busy because you got the kids and that, and then I've got to go off as well. I've got to take the kids to the park. Nights out in it, as you do. So I asked these to everyone since like I think it was like 7 episodes in or something. So bounce or our bass?
Bounce. Only because I play it, but
yeah,
I'm on the fence here. When our bass is going off in a club, when you're watching someone like Gary Select, energy in that is mad.
Do you know what? I agree with that. I don't like hard bass necessarily, but when someone does a full set of it, like Kenzie or someone, I've never seen a Spanish DJ do it yet because I haven't been there. But the crowd love it.
Yeah,
they do go nuts to it, like in Pure, don't they? They do love it. Like
I do think a nightclub sound system can make stuff sound a lot better.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm not the biggest fan of Makina music.
Yeah.
You know, I can appreciate what
I
it is.
don't like it.
But I'm not the biggest. If you just listen to it on a laptop speaker or a phone, a lot of it can sound a bit nursery rhymish, you know, the melodies.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, when you're up the northeast and there's a set of it in the club, the kick drums.
They all love it up there, don't they, as well?
The kick drums.
Yeah.
And the energy from them sets. So yeah, Makina as well is just in a club, fucking unbelievable.
I've never heard it in a club. Anyway.
Yeah, really good.
So Alex K or Clubheads?
Clubheads.
Well, I thought you might have said that.
Didn't even have to think about that.
No. Yeah, like there was a debate. This is why it's on there because there was a little debate going on. Glover fucking said it on Facebook a while ago, and I jumped on it and said, "No, I think Alex K." Only for the simple fact in bounce music, because Clubheads have made all kinds of music, haven't they?
Yeah.
But Alex K has made so many consistent tracks, so I've got to put him above them. But
really,
yeah. But I think Clubheads are better producers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for me, without Clubheads, is the an Alex K in the form that we know him.
There you go. That's
if they
the
didn't
thing
sit
as well,
there fucking about with that TX-81Z in 1997 or whatever it was to make that pipe bass, is Alex K doing what he does now, or is he playing trance or even tech house? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things. But I am biased, like I say. When we booked the Clubheads and they sent Addy over back then, he was like the Clubheads DJ. He doesn't do it no more because he's like an in-house producer for Spinning. Is
that what he does now?
Yeah, he's like some of the biggest tracks on Spinning. You'd be surprised he's had his hand in engineering. I'll tell you what, mate, one of the most down-to-earth people. Took him to Nando's and some of the stuff he told us about some of the biggest DJs in the world. Not controversial, but you know, like how they went from that to that. What they might have like earned for a remix and things like that. I'm like, fair play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that's that. Like, at least he got to know him and all that
man,
as well.
He always like, you know, still got him on Instagram. Like he likes stories where I'm like took the baby out and all that. I think
what
a lovely fella.
Yeah, no, that sounds of him, that like. Right, BCD project or KB project?
I've got to say BCD project just because where we're from, what it meant, like what it meant getting those vinyls when they first started, late 2002 or mid 2002, 2003. Being able to get like obviously the first Rescue EPs, Sonic Burning, Rescue Special. They were like
many good tracks on that.
But then KB appearing, Superstars of Bounce, Beat Goes Boom originally, and then the other stuff from that. What they've done, like there's not a set I'll play that doesn't have some form of Kenny Hayes influence track, whether he's engineered it or engineered for someone, or he's produced it for him and Ben. So it's a tough one, but BCD for me.
See, I like obviously BCD as well, but like my choice would be BCD, but when you go to Wigan Pier and it's mainly KB fucking project tracks, and you got like Iador and all that on there, it sounds so good.
Yeah, it does.
Everyone's just giving it beans and that.
Yeah.
No, they are up there with the best, 100%. So, a donk bass or a Scouse House saw bass?
I'm going to say a donk bass.
Yeah.
Just because it's been, a good 16, 17 years since every track had a Scouse House bass. I think after a certain period, it was only really, really hypersonic.
Yeah.
He was doing it.
Kept it going.
And he was doing it properly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was there anyone better than him after Mike Descala moved off?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
unbelievable ideas. Some of the loudest mastering, still remaining clarity. Again, you listen to his tracks from 2007. He gave me a CD. Remember the Bounce 7, the very first Bounce 7 I was on after. He put Hypersonic on first and me on second. Worked that out. And obviously I knew him anyway from Liverpool. And when he finished his set, he's like, give me a CD that he'd been playing with all his tracks on. And I swear to God, I went home and played them and I'm like, these are louder and clearer than anything else in my collection at the moment.
Yeah, but his producer was next level,
he was just unbelievable, Wayne, But I do have to say a donk bass because it's what I've been playing mainly for the last, however many years. It's in every track. It's got a lot more energy in the right scenario. And obviously it's spawned loads of other things like hard bass as well.
And it's so iconic as well, isn't it, now with the bounce music?
Yeah.
So,
some would say overused, but what else are you meant to do? How to change our music? If you use a different bass sample, it loses its identity. Yeah,
it's more like trancey then, isn't it? If you use like a normal like sub bass or something.
The bass line gives our music its identity. Where like with hardcore, it was like the BPMs really and the kick drums.
Yeah.
Like ours has always been the bass line. You lose that, you lose what it is really.
That's what bounce is, isn't it? It's basically donk, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So the last music question. One's happiness or Love Inc. You're a superstar?
One's happiness.
Yeah, it's not like superstars all that.
It's not that I don't like it, right? I do like it. I remember it coming out on a white label, Illicit Grooves Volume 2, I think it was. And what the fuck's this? It's weird to mix, obviously. You just mix it in from that.
Yeah.
But if you've been Wigan Pier and stayed till the end, and you've seen how that goes down, and you get to play the last set of Pier on the Pier, and you get to play that. It's like a rite of passage, really.
Yeah.
When you slow your BPMs down and play that at the speed it's meant to play.
Yeah.
It's got to be Ones. I think that's such a track. And obviously it's made by Paul Masterson, who again is another absolute gent.
Yeah, he's a good. I don't know if he's a good fella, he's a fucking really good producer.
Yeah, unbelievable. Again,
he's your Manda, isn't he?
He is, and if you listen to the Manda stuff and the Highgate stuff, how dark some of that could be.
Yeah.
Compared to Ones. Do you know what I mean? So but again, he's another person we booked. We booked him for Make Some Noise, flew him over, and they say never meet your heroes. But honestly, mate, what a lovely fella.
Oh, that's that then. Has there ever been anyone like who's a bit of a cunt like who you booked, who's big? You don't have to mention them.
Not who we've booked, but I have been on after people who have been looking forward to meetings, and I've just thought, you fucking tosser. Like, I'm not going to obviously mention any names.
Like, no names.
Many years ago, I was dead excited to go on before this DJ, and this DJ turned up, and I'm like, fucking hell, that's such and such here. Put his record back down. This is how far we're going back, and he went, make that your last one. Yeah, and I'm like, all right. Do you know what I mean?
You're a knobhead.
There's other people again who have not been playing alongside. Well, I have in different arenas, so this gives you the clue where. And like one of my mates said to him, "Will you play such and such, his biggest track?" And bear in mind, this is an old school festival. And this person looked at me mates like he just shat on his shoes and didn't play it. We were there for the whole set at an old school festival, and he didn't play his biggest track. I'm just like, so there is some people who you just think, fucking hell. But the majority of people, they live up to the hype. Yeah,
good. That's good. Right, so these are just 5 random ones now, John. Chinese or Indian?
Chinese.
Do you like Indian now?
I can't have spicy foods. So the spiciest curry I've ever had is a Boona. I've tried a spicier one. Yeah. I think I've tried a Rogan Josh. I'm just like, the spiciest curry I can handle is a Boona. I normally get shashlik or a tikka masala. So what's the point in having a curry? Is it even a curry? So I have a Chinese, me. I stick to what I know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm going to know this one anyway. Football or rugby?
Football.
Yeah, rugby shit. Like, do you like a rugby?
I don't understand it, mate. I don't like the whistles the referee use. It sounds fucking weird. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't understand the rules. But the high pitch whistle compared to the footy one. Yeah, and just where we were, football's Liverpool,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
that's
bad.
it.
If you get to train out of Kirby, the
Yeah.
further you start going, goalposts in schools turn to rugby goals, and you're
Yeah.
getting out of Liverpool then when they
Yeah,
start
yeah.
turning to rugby goals. But I've got
Yeah.
mates who love the rugby, but it's never been for me.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Biggie, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like Tupac. Didn't know him obviously because he died when I was 14. But I just think he's one of them. I've got this saying like he's one of them. If you knew him, he's one of them people that you just had to know how to take. I can't be arsed with people like that. I'm getting a bit too old, and I just think he's a bit of a knobhead, to be honest. Whereas I like Biggie's. I like the music behind Biggie's stuff. Obviously, I don't like his producer because he's turned out he's a bit of a nonce now. But and he's always on the tracks. If you listen to any Biggie tracks, he's in the background. That's right. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I still think Biggie over Tupac, me, defo.
He was more real, I think, to Biggie as well, weren't he? Because Tupac put on this like persona a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, and you know what? Any MC who's listening to this would be like, "Fucking, oh, you know, they all love Tupac. They all call." I've seen lads who we know MC who call him Pac online, like the best mates with him. Me toes curl when I see that. Like, you didn't know him, mate. He died in '96. Stop calling him Pac.
Oh, fucking hell.
Pac's better than Biggie.
Right, Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Well,
no, I can drink either. To be honest, I don't. You know, if the takeaway's only got Pepsi in, mate, I'll have a Pepsi.
What about Zero then? Pepsi Max or Coke Zero?
Pepsi Max.
I prefer Pepsi Max over Coke.
Because you can get Pepsi Max cherry. I know you can get all the mad Coke Zero flavors, but I don't know. I just think Pepsi Max it hits a bit differently.
Yeah, I think Coke Zero tastes like shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does. Right, and the last one for that is a cat or a dog. I think I'm already gonna know what you're gonna say.
I love all animals, mate, but I'm all for cats. I know people don't like cats, and I'm going to use my platform to say people misunderstand cats. I know people don't like cats because they scratch you and then they bite you. But did you know cats communicate with their eyes? So if you look at a cat for a bit too long, it feels threatened, and it'll swipe you. So and if you ever watch anything on the telly about cats, they communicate by blinking at each other. So if my cat's looking like he's going to punch me head in, because you've seen my cat, it's a big cat. It's got
Gus
paws.
Is his name, is it?
Yeah, Gus. Paws like shovels. If I look like he's going to fucking fight me, I just give him a slow blink and he just goes back to what he's doing.
They like slapping as well, don't they? Cats. Yeah, I like me and my kids like going through like YouTube, looking at all cats slapping other cats.
Yeah, they are different. But it's because people misunderstand them. They feel threatened because people are looking at them. And but I like dogs as well. I'm allergic to both, you know.
Oh, are you?
But yeah, my cat's like a specialist breed. He's hypoallergenic, so I had to buy him. Didn't get him for nothing. I had to buy him because like he's hypoallergenic, so he doesn't kick any allergies off. There's a fact for you. Yeah.
Fucking hell. How old's Gus now anyway? You've had him a while now, haven't you?
9, mate. He's getting on.
9? Oh, fucking hell. How long did he live for? Oh, shit. My cameras went off.
Yeah. It's like the end of the BBC, that, mate.
Oh, hold on.
The little deaf woman's going to come up in a minute, sign language.
And how old did he live for, cats, usually?
It depends. Like, Moggies can live to like mid-20s. But I think the oldest I've known of Gus's breed has been to 21. So
21, fucking
if I can get a few more years out of him, then I'll be made up, mate. But you know, once you get to this age, the insurance goes up, and you start thinking like, you know, I could like come in one day and he's not going to be there, and it breaks me heart because he's been a belter pet. But this is what
he was like your first kid, wasn't he?
He was, mate. I call him the OG. He was the one who made me think, you know what, I could probably be a dad. Not realising a kid's a fucking different kettle of fish. Give me a cat. Yeah.
We tried to have a puppy a few years ago with me kids, like young as well, and then, fuck that. Do it. It was too much.
With all them kids and a puppy, mate, your hands are full there, aren't they?
They're like kids themselves, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, so I'll do a quiz with you, John. I've knocked up a little quiz for you like I do with all the others, and we'll see how good your knowledge is, and then we'll call it a day.
Go ahead.
Right, so quiz for John Neal. This one should be quite easy for you anyway, because I think you've already answered it before. What year did the first frequency events happen in a club?
2006.
Yeah, I got the answer from Finchy, by the way. I asked him just to make sure. Like,
yeah.
Some of these, a lot of these are from Discogs as well, so I'm not really sure how accurate they are. But
right, okay.
Let's have a go anyway.
Well, listen, that's where that Fish 56 Octagon gets all his knowledge from. Everyone thinks he's this tune guru. He literally reads Discogs all day and then says, oh, listen to this tune. This is by such and such. So
I was on Discogs before. I was looking at you to see if I could get one of yours on there.
Yeah.
And I think I have. Yeah, I have. I think.
I love reading it, mate, because you work out, like, the people who've made tunes is like, he made that, and now he makes this.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it's completely different.
It
So.
is mad. They've got loads of one of them's on here in a minute. So, Amen vs Alex K. I Can't Wait. One of my favourites that he done. Came out on Dinky number 26. What was on the flip side?
Was that I Can't Wait? Did you say?
Yeah, I Can't Wait. Yeah,
That was Garden of Eden.
yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what year that was? The first it got released.
I'm gonna say 2000.
Bang on.
Yes. I was going with 2000 or 2001, but I'm sure I had that in 2000s. Green Label.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah.
So another one is Dizzy DJ's Good Life.
Yeah.
Was released in 2005.
Yeah.
What label was it released on?
Oh, fucking. Was this I'm gonna get this completely
Orange
wrong now.
label.
Was it on? Was it DSP? Was it?
No.
I'm thinking of that label Wayne had, what he was releasing his stuff on. Go on. What was it on?
Proper Good.
Proper Good, right?
Yeah. It was an orange sticker on it.
I knew it was orange because
the
orange DSP was that Tim Deluxe donk remix that just won't do. Yeah, I'm getting me.
Maybe that's why you're confused.
Yeah.
So a little producer on this because you owned a bit of hardware, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've seen you post the other day.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you had this. I think. What year was the Roland TB303 baseline first released?
Oh, fucking hell! Is it?
I just have a guess.
I know it's years ago. Was it 1983?
Oh, that's close.
Go on.
Don't have a guess.
82.
Or 81.
81. No way.
81.
It's madness. And you know what? It weren't meant for its purpose.
No.
It was like a bass thing for the band, really. Initially,
they
wanted bands to use it, and then some mad bastard lashes the residents up. And we've got
turned into acid.
Madness in it. But that's how new genres come out, mate. If you think about trance as well, I know I'm digressing. We need to.
No, go ahead, go for it.
But if you think about trance music, when that started to come in, that was when your synths like your Virus Bs and your Waldorfs, your Virus and your Virus Bs and your Waldorfs, these new sounds were used to spawn new genres.
Yeah.
That was obviously used that way as well. So
yeah, man, and the AC/80 as well.
Yeah,
and what was that other one again? Oh, I've been looking at them dreaming, John. They're going on eBay for like $2,000.
Yeah,
but I'll never own one. I've got $2,000.
Even just to like go up and down with the cutoff on the filter on that Super Saw, I'd just sit there doing that all day.
I'd have it there in the corner, just fucking about with it all day. I'd
just lash loads of transmiddies in and just like go through them all, pretend you're fucking Ferry Corsten and that.
Well, I messaged that Lovestruck on TikTok and asked him what synth he use, and he's got one of them. That's why his music sounds so fucking. Oh, it's gone off. What's going on with me camera? Yeah, I messaged that Lovestruck on TikTok anyway, and I asked him what synth to use, and he's got an AC/80. And that's why his music sounds so like nostalgia and all that. So
exactly, mate. Yeah, Drake Liddell's got the keyboard version as well, and we know what his leads sound like, mate. Some of them. Do you know what? I didn't even give him a mention in the producer section, Drake. I'm sorry, because some of the
there you go.
Like combining trance and hard bass, how he does, like some of his tracks, man, fucking hell.
Yeah. He's got some good. Well, it will be from that fucking AC/80 what he's got or whatever it is. Yeah. So the next one, Hypersonic released his first 4 vinyls in 2004. Can you name one of the records?
Yes, it would be It's Not Right on W&W Records. Is that one of the first?
No, but Right is on there. It's not right on according to Discogs. Was that not one of his first? Rhythm of the Night is on there.
No, I thought the Whitney Houston one.
I don't know. Label, it might be. It might have just missed it out, but these are from 2004. There was 4 from 2004.
Right, that might be later. Well, I can't think of them then,
Go on, have another go.
Everything I can think of is like an official remix. The only thing I can probably give you is that that record label at DSP Records, or is that even later as well?
I didn't write down the label actually. I should have.
No, you've got me on that one. Go ahead.
So Rhythm of the Night, and this I used to hammer this one. Even when I listen back to it now, it's shit. But that was because he first started. I Feel Love, the remix he's on.
Yeah.
Summer of Love and Supreme. 2004.
I wouldn't have got any of them. Do you know what I did love about it? One of his earlier ones, that remix he did of Frida Shine Forever.
Yeah.
Steptonic.
He made so many fucking belters, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
like
he did,
they were his first ones released according to Discogs, anyway.
No way.
Right, we'll move on. Mike Descala is a legend of the Scouse House scene, as everyone knows. He had so many different aliases. I think he's got about 16 on Discogs just for Scouse House. Can you name 7?
BCD Project, Resonance Q. Are we counting Ultrabeat?
Yeah.
One Long Sausage.
Yeah.
Sumo.
Yeah.
And Well Hung.
Well Hung. You got one more.
Master Blaster UK.
Yeah. The 7.
What
He's got that many.
Mate. What a guy.
Oh my God. I'll just name a few more. Agent X.
Yeah.
It's a Revolution. Daz Coxter.
Chosen Few.
Chosen Few was like house though, weren't it?
Yeah.
Bag of McCoys. Yeah. Oleta, Overdose, Uproar, Hard Knocks.
Puddy and PJ Pebbles. Do you remember that one? Him and Puddy, they done that song. The ludicrous lick you from your head to your toes.
Oh, I don't think I heard that.
That was him and Puddy.
Was it? Yeah,
it's madness.
High Flyers. Yeah. He's got so many. Like they were just what I recognise from Scouse House.
Yeah,
the fucking list was like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's unreal.
Yeah.
So there's one for you. What year was Ableton first released?
Fucking hell.
Have a guess.
2004.
No, but you're not far off.
2002.
2001.
No way.
It was founded in 1999, apparently, but it was released in 2001.
Yeah. I remember someone putting a version of it on the record shop computer in City Records. That would have been 2006. Yeah. I remember looking at it thinking, that looks weird as fuck, that. Because I was used to Cubase at the time.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not into that. It wasn't until 2015 that I moved over to Ableton. I was using Cubase up to then. Did a course with that, SSR in Manchester. It's not called that now. Done like an introduction to Ableton Live course. Got in, there was only 2 of us on it, and I felt really sorry for this fella because it was a 500 quid course. Me and this other fella that turned up, and on the start of the course, the tutor's like, "What do you want to get out of this course?"
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, he does like live performance in like pubs and all that, so he wants to use it to trigger his tracks and all that." And then I told the fella what I know about music production already and what I want to get from it.
Yeah.
I feel a bit sorry for the fella because it almost turned into like a one-on-one tutorial for me. This fella showed me all this dead excitedly. Oh, you can do this, you can do this. I think the fella only lasted 2 or 3 sessions and never came back. Paid all that money and I literally had one-on-one tuition on Ableton.
That's sad, that.
I benefited, but yeah, well, I think it's the best one. You've just moved over to it, haven't you?
Yeah, it's definitely the best one I've used, like, because I'm used to it now. But when I first started it was a headache for me because I was used to FL Studio and it's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm not going to go back to FL now. I don't think. I think I'm just stuck on Ableton. It's by far the best.
Yeah, the stuff you can do, like the Max for Live stuff, these like instruments and sequences that can just literally write your music for you. I know that's cheating. If you're struggling for a bit of inspiration, you just like there's one called Sting and it writes boss.
Oh yeah, I've got that.
It's like, how's it doing that? Put an organ sample on it and press Sting.
It's designed for like an acid melody, isn't it? But a lot of people are using that for bass lines for house music now, aren't they? They just generate a fucking new bass line.
Exactly. Yeah, the stuff
man,
it's just mad.
Ableton is the best I've used anyway. So we'll move on. What are we on here? Here's your one. Your remix of As You Like, Feel the Sunshine came out in 2005. What label was it released on? Can you remember, John?
Fucking hell. I've got a copy of it in the shed as well, man.
His own record.
Oh, fucking hell. Do you know what? I can't tell you the record label, but I can tell you it was an orange and white label.
Yeah.
What was it? With the
Dizzy
DJs? Oh.
No.
It was the same label.
Oh, yeah, Dizzy DJ's done a remix on that tune.
Well. It's the same label that Scouse House Action come out on, I'm sure of it. Because it was JFMC's label.
Was it?
Was it Reality DJs or something?
It begins with a P.
No. Mate.
Primo,
yeah. Nah, I can't even remember. JFMC's label though, yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was the first proper track I made with all that massive studio setup you saw.
Oh, was it?
Picture. All that gear, put that out. And madly, just like Steve Cameron and his lad always says, that's still the best tune you've ever made. And I'm like, sure, behave yourself. I remember the JFMC rap. I remember putting that on it and then putting this vocoder on it and being made up with it, thinking I was Mike Scala. Like, I just put a vocoder on JFMC and it's in key. Yeah.
No, I was looking through your Discogs and I was surprised how many you actually released in them days on vinyl.
Yeah,
man.
They were very good, but they done all right.
I mean, I haven't got one record on vinyl. It was too late, like I said. But
just missed the boat.
Actually, I remember seeing something a while ago. Spaniard got pressed, but I didn't make that anyway. It was Wayne. But I heard Spaniard got pressed. So I don't know how.
If that goes back to what I was saying earlier. So if that got pressed, it'll be one of the distribution companies that were doing pressing and distribution deals for people.
Yeah.
So basically, you'd send them your track, they'd press it up and distribute it for you. They'd take most of the money, and you get like 50p a vinyl or £1 a vinyl. But they were doing it to people without the permission. So they were going on the likes of Scouse MP3s and all that, downloading their tracks.
Yeah.
And then just putting them out. Apologies if anyone heard that burp then, by the way.
That's what must have happened to Wayne, because Wayne definitely 100% never sent anyone to a label that track. And then I heard it got pressed.
Yeah. That'll be it, mate. Someone's got it off the file sharing site, pressed it up, and it's gone all round and all.
Wonder how much money they made off him.
From my memory back in the day, like when you were selling them into shops, I think like the distributor made about £3.50 per vinyl. And obviously the shops would sell them for like $6.99 or a tenner if they were greedy.
Fucking hell, man.
Madness, innit? That was when you know, the money you could earn. Then now you've got to get millions of streams. And
no, it's fucking a joke. I was talking to this about Rob the other day. It's fucking insane how much money how many streams you've got to get even to get a couple of quid.
Yeah, and then to get them streams, you've got to do all the dancing on TikTok and all that first. And playing your tune, doing that.
And then Rob was and then Rob was telling me, like, because he's doing a label now, they have so many cuts before it even gets to them, and then he's got to take his cut before it gets to someone like me.
Yeah,
so I'm left with like fucking 10p or something.
It's madness. Yeah.
So number 9, what year to BCD Project All I Think About Is You come out? This is one of my favourite ever tracks from them.
I'm gonna say actually released. I think it was getting played in 2004. I think it might have come out in 2005.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah,
on the All Around the World double pack.
I remember I heard it coming out and I fucking legged it to Beatport, not Beatport, fucking Freebeat.
Yeah,
legged it there, got it.
The one with the mix with the Lee Butler rap on it.
Yeah.
Mate, again, fucking class. Butler's one of many talents, lashing his rap on.
Mate. That was one of my favourite tracks from them days.
So good. Do you remember, obviously, what they got the inspiration from? The Loops, Checker One.
Yeah, the Loops, Checker One.
Horrible track to mix in with that weird kick and bass, like dead rubbery, and then obviously the boss piano.
Have you ever heard of Kyle Starkey? He's some. I wouldn't class him as techno. He's more like it's like old school Euro house or something, but he's remade it into like this new sound.
Yeah.
He's just done a bootleg of that track. What's it called again?
Do you know what? I'm sure I've seen that coming up on TikTok, you know.
It's fucking heavy, mate. I can't wait to get hold of it.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen that coming up on one of the TikTok videos, like getting it played to a crowd.
Yeah.
And loads of people in the tracks, ID. So
yeah. It's Kyle Starkey. What did he call it? Think About or something like that, or something like that. He's called it. But yeah, that he's bootlegged the Checker or the Loops, is it called, or whatever it is. Yeah, so the last question, John, and then I'll let you get off to your kid and that.
No danger.
Quadrasonic released his first 2 records on vinyl on BCD Guests label in 2004. The Quadrasonic EP, it was called.
Yeah.
What was on that record? There's 2 tracks.
I can only tell you one, I think. One was Renegade, wasn't it?
Yeah. Renegade.
Renegade, mate. Yeah, I can't remember. Orange, though. It was orange.
Yeah.
It was orange.
Anthem. It was.
Was it?
Yeah. It must have been one of them Enjoy Anthem fucking tracks.
Again, the stuff he was making back in the day.
Paul's one of my favourites, mate.
Like his Scouse House stuff, but then when he moved into making the stuff like Hit House and Effect and Velocity and all that, way ahead of its time.
Next
that
level.
Module 1 used.
Yeah.
But all like the bleeps and the stutters and it's such
next level, especially back in 2006 and all that, when like what he was making back then, the Hit House, Effects and Velocity, like you said, Stomping System was another one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was unreal.
Yeah.
Right, John, nice one for coming on, mate.
Not a problem, mate.
What have you got coming up? Anything coming up you can shout?
I'll tell you one thing I've got coming up. So if anyone's listening and they want to watch, I'm gonna do a TikTok live next Thursday.
Oh, yeah, TikTok.
I'm trying to put my face on TikTok. I'm just thinking like, because of this baby, like,
Yeah,
I've not really done an awful lot of content in the past. Well, he's one next month.
yeah,
In the past year, I've probably done 2 mixes, not done any live streams, and I have to say thank you to the promoters who've still been booking me despite this, and the producers like yourself and everybody else
yeah.
who still sends me tracks despite me not putting stuff out to reciprocate. So I'm trying to address it. I've got a time set aside to start going on this to make more tracks.
Yeah,
But I'm going to do a live stream on Thursday the 22nd at 9
that'll be
p.m.
good. Yeah,
So have a look on my TikTok at DJ John Neal at 9 p.m. next Thursday.
there you go.
Gig wise, again, I'm still busy, so I am really thankful for people still booking
Yeah,
me. I've got one in Bolton on the 23rd. Only Bounce first birthday for Candy and Grundy and Kane.
yeah.
And then I've got Bounce and Bass at Pure on the Bank Holiday Sunday, August Bank Holiday Sunday. That's like Bounce in the main room, drum and bass in the second room. And then I've got a couple of weeks off in September because it's my 10th wedding anniversary and obviously
Yeah.
my baby's first birthday.
Congratulations as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah, 10 years, get less of murder. That's an old one in it, but that's coming up in September. So bit of a quiet month, and then October, November picks right up. So still doing all right, Steve, considering how long I've been at it.
Well, like I said on the post yesterday, or whatever it was, I class it as the best current bounce DJ, and a lot of other people do as well.
Appreciate that.
A lot
Thank
of
you
other
very
people
much.
do. So thank you for coming on, John.
Not a problem, mate.
Thanks, and
See you
I'll
later.
see you on the next one, guys.
Take care. See you later.